I'm Missy Swanson, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Feileacan Trauma Release Technique. It is a technique that utilizes multiple modalities to release the energy of trauma from the body. It combines the energy of Reiki, trauma-informed practices, mindfulness, guided meditation, the principles of somatic therapy, and a few additional modalities to empower each individual's healing process and to ensure their safety. So what we're doing is we're guiding a person to release trauma from their body by connecting with physical discomfort and imbalance, acknowledging intense emotions and limiting beliefs, and retrieving and integrating lost or broken pieces of the soul. It's a way to safely release the energy of trauma that is stored in the body for anyone who has the trauma pattern, or what I usually refer to as the trauma signature. Sometimes this can be very subtle, and sometimes it can be very clear that there are signs of post-traumatic stress. Ways that we see this, or ways that it manifests in the body, are through autoimmunity or inflammatory-based illnesses, mental health disorders, substance use, and unresolved or unexplained chronic pain. So I want to take a moment to address a few of the terms that I mentioned in the introduction and how they relate to the technique. So what do we mean when we are talking about trauma-informed practice? It means that as practitioners, we emphasize physical, psychological, and emotional safety. We're working to empower our patients by giving them control over the process. We give them the ability to say yes or no throughout every step of their experience. Now, this builds a sense of trust between the practitioner and the patient, but it also helps the patient to begin to trust themselves, because they are being validated by the practitioner's confirmation of what they're feeling. It also builds a foundation of safety. When the patient is engaged in the process, they're able to tell you if they feel comfortable with moving on or if they feel like they're not ready for the next step. By verbally interacting with the patient and by connecting to their energy, the practitioner is able to monitor breathing patterns and body language to ensure that the patient does not have a negative reaction. Negative reactions during these types of processes can cause a person to re-experience their trauma. So what we want to do is keep an eye on that, monitor that, and make sure that it doesn't happen, or reduce the response time in the event that it does happen. This is what trauma-informed practice is. This is important because we're not here to create catharsis for our patients by making them face something they're not ready to experience. We're here to create a calm and safe and comfortable environment for them and guide them while they move at their own pace through their own process. Now, this is where Reiki comes into the technique. It's a useful tool for creating calm, stable, supportive energy. It creates the foundation, and it also adds loving energy into the equation while the person is working through their memories that can be really intense, or limiting beliefs that can be really, really intense for them. Reiki is there to support them. So how is the somatic experience part of the Feileacan Trauma Release Technique? The term somatic means relating to the body. Somatic therapy is the study of the relationship between the mind and body in regards to the psychological past. The theory here is that our bodies are holding on to past trauma, and that trauma symptoms are due to instability in the nervous system. So I'm really simplifying here, but the basic point is this. Trauma expresses itself in the physical body through pain, discomfort, and illness. As I mentioned above, we often see this as anxiety, depression, substance use, digestive issues, hormonal issues, autoimmunity, and other inflammatory-based illnesses, and chronic pain, keeping in mind that this is not an all-inclusive list. The nervous system is holding on to and responding to the energy of trauma by activating the body's fight, flight, or freeze response. By flipping the switch and turning on the sympathetic nervous system. When we experience trauma, the sympathetic nervous system can get stuck in the on position. Again, I'm simplifying here. But what is happening is that our bodies are staying stuck in this way, and it's beginning to take a toll. Our bodies are then telling us what is out of balance and where it's out of balance at. So with the trauma release technique, we follow discomfort in the body. We let it lead us to the place that needs the most assistance. And then we begin to explore emotions, beliefs, and memories that are stuck in that place of discomfort. So think of it like a ball of yarn that is knotted and tangled. As we begin to feel each emotion or belief or experience each memory, we're unwinding that knotted, tangled energy. We're releasing what the body has been holding on to. And as we do this, that energy is returned to the system, allowing the body to rest and allowing energy to flow. When energy is allowed to flow, the body works as a whole system, and its processes begin to come back online, and the body begins to heal itself. So what often happens in the process of healing, and this is where the spiritual and energetic components of the Feileacan Trauma Release Technique come in, is that we find pieces of the soul that were lost when the trauma occurred, either by becoming trapped in the memory of what happened or by splitting off completely and finding a safe place to hide. So as a practitioner, our work then becomes about helping the patient safely interact with that soul piece and bringing it back to the body. When that happens, the patient is able to reclaim and integrate an essential part of themselves that they lost when the trauma occurred. Now, I don't have the time here to go into detail about the energy of trauma and how that works, but I have done a podcast on the Embracing Darkness podcast about the energy of trauma. It is episode 3. If you're looking for it, you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. If you're watching this video on my website, it should be the video directly underneath this video. If not, it's in the list. So let me bring this back around and start to wrap this up. Some people have asked me or expressed that they don't understand how this process can heal trauma. They say you can't take memories away, you can't erase the experience, there's no cure for trauma, so to speak. And what I want to say to you is that I agree with you. This technique isn't designed to take away the past or erase it. It's designed to release the energy of trauma that is stored or stuck in the body so that the patient has the opportunity to rest and reset and come out of that fight or flight response. So instead of trying to take things away, we're giving something back. We're giving the patient tools and freedom from the struggle. So instead of being in a constant state of hypervigilance, we can help them get to a place where they're having a balanced and stable reaction to themselves and what they're experiencing and the world around them. So let me recap. By using Reiki and mindfulness and meditation, we're able to safely support the patient and guide them through their physical discomfort, into their emotions, into their beliefs, and sometimes into their memories and back to lost soul pieces in order to reclaim them and integrate them and to release the energy of trauma from the body. So if you'd like to know more about the Feileacan Trauma Release Technique or what I do, you can find me at transformationreiki.com. Everything that I do connects back to the website. I have a private practice here in downtown Austin, and I teach a myriad of classes and I talk about the energy of trauma really anywhere that I go and to anybody who will listen. I do invite you to join my newsletter as a way to keep up with the courses that I'm offering, some of the research that I'm doing, and to get your hands on some of the free resources that I'm giving out. I am also hosting the Embracing Darkness podcast, as I mentioned above, and a lot of that is talking about the energy of trauma. So you can find that again on iTunes, YouTube, or SoundCloud. And that's all I have for you today. So I invite you also to send me emails, to connect with me, and to ask any questions you might have. And my email is izzy@transformationreiki.com.